Hey everyone, Roxabox90 here with the next part of my full set review for Theros. Now we're going to jump into blue with Nimbus Naiad, 3 for a 2/2 flying, which is fine. And the 5 bestow, again, is I think too expensive, but if you manage to work it with heroic, I think this is actually one of the more reasonable. 2+2 in flying is not bad, and if you activate a solid heroic, that could be cool, but otherwise it's just the creature. Shipbreaker Kraken is huge and limited. Of course, a lot of Timmy players are going to have fun with Shipbreaker Kraken. It's just huge, taps down stuff. It's really nice. It could potentially see some play in Cube and EDH just because of its ridiculously large. It's a huge body and it has a very, very nice monstrosity effect that makes it even bigger. The monstrosity is also not that much more expensive. Bind to Thassa, EDH players rejoice. It's very, very powerful card. It's going to go into a whole bunch of decks, and I think it's a bit expensive for what it does for limited, even forcing the attack. I mean, nah. I just don't think it's quite there for constructed, but limited, sorry, not limited, EDH will love this card to death for sure. Voyage's End is huge in limited, even if you do it on your own heroic, it could be very, very cool, and the scry is very, very nice. So it's solid removal, or tempo removal, and the scry is great for 2. Lost in the Labyrinth, 3-0, and scry 1, it's the 3, it's just not that good. Curse of Swine is going to be very fun for EDH, and it'll probably be fun even in certain cubes. Some cubes, I think it has potential for those as well. And limited, of course, it's a nice wrath effect, but giving your opponent so much power, I don't think it's quite worth it. Even if you were, if you pay 3 or 4 to exile some gods and stuff, that could be worthwhile. So it's a solid removal. It's better than some of Black's removal for limited. Omen Speaker for limited, I think is great. This 2 for 1/3 body is fine, and then the Scry 2 is a nice tack on. Artisan of Forms is freaking awesome. It's going to be played in a lot of decks outside of limited. I think even outside of the standard constructed format. It definitely has potential in other formats, and I think in EDH it will definitely shine. Thassa's Emissary, 4 for a 3/3 is fine. I don't think the bestow is going to really happen that much. Sealock Monster, it can't attack without an island, monstrosity, and whatever. 5 for a 5/5 wall until you have 7 mana, and then it just makes your opponent, it makes it possible to attack as an 8/8. It's an okay limited card, that's about it. Wave Crash Triton. Whenever you cast a spell, it taps a creature and the creature doesn't untap. I think it's nice that you can choose which one it taps down, and it's a reasonable body, so cool. Master of Waves also, again, very cool flavor design, and I think in limited will be a very, very powerful card in the right deck. It has constructed potential. Gainsay will probably be a sideboard card, even in constructed. I don't think it's quite there for legacy, but in modern it could potentially be a sideboard card against a lot of the control decks and such, and it has potential for standard construct as well. Triton Fortune Teller is just a 2/2 body for 3. The heroic is okay. The fact that you just draw a card, it's not a very splashy effect at an uncommon. Thassa, of course, will be ridiculous in limited, and though she might not see quite as much play in constructed as we first thought, she will definitely see some play in EDH. She's a fantastic blue commander, and I would recommend for people who want to run mono blue, she's one of the less annoying blue commanders out there. A lot of people hate on mono blue because the commanders and the decks that build with them are very annoying. I think she has the potential to be a non-annoying mono blue commander. Very cool. Dissolve is just cancel with an additional scry, so it's a better cancel, which means yes. Swan Song is going to be crazy and limited, which is why it's a rare, because it just, they play a god, 1 blue, they lose their god. It's ridiculous, but I don't know if it's quite versatile enough. I think it has the potential to see legacy play, actually, and maybe even modern, just because enchantment, instant, and sorcery, it's a slightly better negate. Even with the 2/2 flying bird, I think it could see play in those formats. It's possible. It's definitely possible. Prognostic Sphinx I love a lot. It's going to be crazy and limited. I think it has even potential in EDH, just being able to scry every time it swings, and the fact you can protect it is really, really nice. And of course in constructed, I do think this has some serious potential in control decks. You play this and then Etherling. I think it's pretty cool. Ordeal of Thassa, like the rest of the Ordeals, it's very, very good and limited. I don't know if it's quite there for constructed. Annul, yay, bring back Annul. It's just a really solid counterspell, and it's there for limited mostly. Aqueous Form, a creature can't be blocked and it scries every time it attacks. That's really, really nice This is a great heroic enabler. It's definitely going to be one of the better picks for heroic. Benthic Giant is a 4/5 hexproof for 6. Hexproof is usually pretty good. I mean, 6 mana is a lot, but yeah, it might be a final bomb for limited, and that's about it. Breaching Hippocamp. What? It's a horsefish. Okay, I can't look at this anymore. It's a horsefish. It untaps another creature you control, 4 for 3/2 flash, but it doesn't have fly. It's not that great. And it's a horsefish. I'm moving on. Coastline Chimera, 4 for 1/5 flying. You can block an additional creature. We had a card similar to this in the last set, which is white, and it was a very solid limited card. I think it has definitely has potential. Crackling Triton. The fact that you need to sacrifice it to do that, I just don't think it's so good. The art's very cool though. Fate Foretold is awesome and limited because it's basically plays a cantrip. It's a heroic enabler, and then when the creature dies, you draw a card also. I think it's very solid enabler for limited. Griptide is a reprint. Yay, it's going to be a solid removal again for limited. Horizon Scholar is an overpriced 4/4 flying that scries. It's okay, a lot of scry going on. Relentless Charlatan. It allows you to double instants and sorceries. Not that we have so many good instants and sorceries. This is not going to be a major card, I think, so much in Standard. It's probably going to be better in EDH Commander. I think being able to double instant sorceries will see more play there for the mana. Mnemonic Wall is a reprint. It's an EDH staple. The fact that bringing it back makes it nice for newer players, and it's a decent card. If we had better instant sorceries to get back, it would be really awesome. As it is, it's fine for limited. Prescient Chimera, 3/4 flying and scries whenever you cast an instant sorcery. Again, it's not going to happen that often, so I think it's slightly overpriced, but it's a solid flyer. Sea God's Revenge returns 3 creatures for 6, which is too much mana. Just because it has scry 1 does not make it worth that mana cost. Stymied Hopes counters a spell. It's a force spike for 2 because it scries again. They're adding mana to make scry 1, to put scry 1 on a card. Yay, but force spike is pretty awesome, especially if your opponent taps down to play, their gods or whatever. It's very, very cool. Thassa's Bounty, 6 mana to draw 3 cards. No one cares about the mill. That's just not worth it at sorcery speed. Sorry, that's not good. Triton Shore Thief is terrible. Triton Tactics is one of the best heroic enablers. Actually, I think it's the best heroic enabler in Limited. It's just huge. It taps each creature that was blocked by one of the creatures, and they don't untap, and it gives creatures that you're targeting O+3, and then it untaps those creatures, so it's just a crazy awesome combat trick. It's going to be crazy powerful and limited. And Vaporkin it's a 2/1 flying for 2. It's not that great. It can only block creatures flying, so maybe ironically an aggro build in limited. It's okay. So those are our blue cards. Let me know your thoughts about them below in the comment section, and stay tuned for the next 2 videos of the full set review. Roxabox90 signing out. I'll see you guys next time.